It is a situation most of us can't even wrap our heads around. It is the worst case scenario for any school administrator in our times right now. So how do we expect the kids to cope with this tragedy? Tonight, WHAS 11's Rachel Droz has advice from a psychiatrist about how to talk to your children.
Trauma surrounding the tragedies in Texas already trickling into homes across America. Many parents are wondering if they should talk to their kids about what happened. I went to the experts at U of L's Peace Hospital to find out what they recommend.
You have to meet them where they are. You know, in psychoanalysis, we talk about the workable surface. The workable surface is a kind of a fancy term for saying meeting people where they're at and having the conversation with them in words that they use and that they can understand. We do have our own feelings, and we can be guilty of projecting our own feelings into our kids in ways that they may not be feeling themselves. So I think the important first piece of this is to talk to kids and hear their words. What are you saying? How do they talk about it? And talk about it with them in their words.
If you're concerned about having to break the news about the shooting to your kids so they don't have to learn about it first in the classroom, here's what Dr. Stephen Taylor suggests you do.
I think we feel like our kids are not very resilient. They're pretty resilient. But again, you know your kids, you know the words they use, you know how they talk, and that would be the way to approach them about it. Ask them what they know, if they think about it, if they have feelings about it, and then it's okay to talk about that.
If your kid is scared to go to school right now, Dr. Taylor says don't just brush off their concerns.
Sure, we want to try to reassure our kids, but we also don't want to lie to them either, right? Don't tell them something that isn't true, because that's just going to make things worse in the long run. So I think just being honest with them and listening to their fears and taking them where they are and not forcing them to do something that's going to terrify them. I think if I had a kid who didn't want to go to school, we would talk about it. And if they were really terrified about going, I'm not going to make them go.
In Louisville, Rachel Droz, WHAS 11 on your side.
There are mental health resources for adults and children in the wake of this school shooting. If you need someone to talk to or think your child would benefit from talking to someone, just call one of these lines on your screen right here. 7 counties crisis lines. For adults, call 582-589-4313. Children, for 7 counties, call 502-589-8070.